Have you ever wondered why some of the most free-spirited, untamed women seem to be drawn to deeply masculine men? Not controlling, not weak, but truly grounded, powerful men. It's not just some random attraction. It is something deeply embedded in our psychology, our mythology, and the very nature of human relationships. Today, we're going to be diving into Jungian and mythological roots of these dynamics. Why do wild women despise weak men? Why do masculine men thrive with them? And what does this tell us about modern relationships? In Jungian psychology, every man carries an anima, his inner feminine side, and every woman carries an animus, her inner masculine side. The more a person integrates these aspects, the more balanced they become. A wild woman, the untamed, free-spirited feminine, is only drawn to a man who has integrated his anima enough to understand her, but remains masculine enough to hold his own. He doesn't try to control her because he isn't threatened by her wildness. How many times did a guy told you, "You're too much, calm down"? A wild woman wants a man who says, "I see you and I can meet you there." Now let's understand something first. I don't think a woman that is a feminist is necessarily a strong, wild woman. Us humans, we do a lot of things out of our unhealed egos. We confuse things because mentally we can see them in our minds, but our bodies tell us a different story. A wild woman is a woman that can tap into her sexuality without feeling shame or guilt. A lot of feminism unfortunately stems from a place where women have unhealed sexuality. So they are trying to create a society without masculinity in order to feel safe. This is trauma response caused by too much toxic masculinity. Same works for men. Men that need weak women are not masculine either. Their ego is broken and they need women not to challenge them, but so they can stay on the throne. Let's look at some of the representatives of wild women mythology. Lilith, the original wild woman, was said to have left Adam because she refused to submit. Eve, in contrast, was more obedient. Lilith represents the woman who refuses to be tamed. She demands an equal, not a master. In folklore, Lilith was Adam's first wife, created as his equal. Unlike Eve, she was not born from Adam's rib. She was formed from the same earth as he was. From the beginning, she refused to be submissive. The most famous myth says that when Adam demanded she lie beneath him in intercourse as a symbol of male dominance, she refused. She wanted to be on an equal footing. When Adam insisted, Lilith fled the Garden of Eden, choosing exile over submission. This is crucial to know. Lilith was not cast out. She chose to leave. She represents the woman who would rather walk alone than to be controlled. She's chaos, desire, passion, independence, and the raw, unfiltered force of the feminine. Lilith is the woman who refuses to be tamed, and weak men fear what they cannot control. A strong man would actually consider this attractive and would try to challenge her energy. After Lilith's departure, Adam was given a new partner, Eve. Unlike Lilith, Eve was created from Adam's rib, a part of him, designed to be his companion. She's more traditional archetype of femininity, nurturing, gentle, and crucially, obedient. Eve does not challenge Adam's authority. She complements it. She supports it. But even Eve has a moment of rebellion. When she eats the forbidden fruit, it's an act of curiosity, of stepping beyond her prescribed role. And yet, even in her disobedience, she remains tethered to Adam. She does not leave him the way Lilith did. She shares the fruit with him, and they face exile together. On the other hand, we have Artemis as well. She is the quintessential wild woman. She's fiercely independent, untamed, and embodies the primal, liberated feminine spirit. As the goddess of hunt, she is skilled, fearless, and unapologetically herself. She does not conform to societal expectations of women in Greek mythology. Instead, she lives by her own rules, valuing freedom above all else. Her refusal to marry or to be dominated by men symbolizes a woman who cannot be possessed or controlled. She is wild not just in her actions, but in her very essence, unconventional, free-spirited, and self-sufficient. The man that she picks to have by her side is Orion. He is one of the few men who can keep up with her. He is strong, confident, and skilled, qualities that allow him to stand beside her as an equal. Unlike other men who may have tried to dominate or tame Artemis, Orion respects her independence and matches her power without diminishing his own. Their bond is built on mutual respect, shared passion, and a meeting of equals. This represents the kind of masculine energy that resonates with the wild woman, grounded, capable, secure in his masculinity. Orion does not compete with Artemis or try to control her. Instead, he enjoys her strength and challenges her in a way that excites and inspires her. The story of Artemis and Orion beautifully illustrates that the wild woman does not need to be tamed. She needs to be met. She needs a man who is secure enough in his masculinity to embrace her power, not fear it. A man who can dance with her wildness, not try to restrain it. Orion represents this kind of masculinity. He is strong but not controlling, adventurous but not reckless, and confident but not arrogant. This is the balance that allows a wild woman to remain free while being fully seen and cherished. Do you see the pattern? These women weren't just rebels. They needed a masculine counterpart, not a master or a weakling. A wild woman doesn't want to be tamed. She wants to be met. A masculine man doesn't need to dominate. He needs to embody his power fully. And when they find each other, that's where the real passion, depth, and connection begin. Coming back to Lilith and Eve, they're not just mythological figures, they are also psychological archetypes, forces that exist in every woman. And here's where it gets interesting. Most women are a blend of Lilith and Eve. A Lilith-heavy woman is fierce independent, unwilling to compromise, often misunderstood or vilified. She attracts strong men but scares of the weak. An Eve-heavy woman is nurturing, cooperative, and traditional. She thrives in structured relationships but may struggle with autonomy. Many men think they want an Eve, but what they really desire, what excites them, is the fire of Lilith. And many women think they need to be Eve to be loved, but deep down they crave the freedom and power of Lilith. A weak man is terrified of Lilith. He either demonizes her, as Bible did, or tries to break her spirit. But a masculine man, a truly grounded man, isn't intimidated by her power. He sees her untamed nature and meets her with strength, not control. A wild woman doesn't want a master. She wants a counterpart, someone who can hold his own without suppressing her. This is the heart of the attraction between wild women and masculine men. It is not about dominance. It is about the dance between chaos and order, passion and presence, freedom and stability. Lilith will never submit to a weak man, and Eve, no matter how obedient, will never respect one. This is the secret to why wild women get along so well with masculine men. It is the dance of chaos and order, the interplay of two powerful forces that balance and elevate each other. A wild woman doesn't want to be tamed, she wants to be met. A masculine man doesn't need to dominate, he needs to embody his power fully. When these two forces collide, they don't need to cancel each other out. They create an inferno of passion, depth, and unbreakable connection. This isn't just about love or attraction, it's about evolution. The wild woman challenges the masculine man to rise into his full power, to lead without control and protect without possession. She ignites his purpose, pushing him to grow beyond his limits. And the masculine man grounds the wild woman, giving her the freedom to explore her untamed spirit without losing herself to chaos. He is the mountain to her storm, the steady flame to her wildfire. This is why weak men will never understand her and why boys will always fall short. Because she needs a man who can see her power and not flinch, a man who can stand in his own strength and dance with her wildness. Together, they're unstoppable. Not because they complete each other, but because they amplify each other. Their union isn't about need, it's about choice. They don't settle, they soar. And this is why the wild woman will always choose the masculine man, not out of submission, but out of sovereignty, not to be led, but to dance, because true power recognizes its equal. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you like it, please do subscribe to it. Love you all.